All right, we are live, guys. Thank you for
Yay.
being here. We did it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. 504. It's not bad. We did it. We figured it out by 504. I'm here with Sean Van Vick, Prince, and Marcelo Hernandez. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the Just the Tip Stream Yard comedy show for no money. That means Just the Tip means if you want to give us money because things are funny, do that. Check out all the places you can send it: PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo. If you're having a good time watching the show, send us some money. If you're having a bad time watching the show, send us some money. Either way, it's going to help us out. I had my wisdom teeth out. I don't know if you can tell because I got this crazy beard, but I'm very swollen today. So I'm going to try to like give these guys the opportunity to talk more than me talking.
All right, then you've got so many sponsors. It looks like a pill advert, like just tablets, just like not a sponsor underneath.
Dan.
All right, quick.
You look like it's the UFC.
Before we haven't started, we're not starting that part. Quick shout out to anybody who's not telling people that the virus is gone. Things is still very happening out there. Quick shout out to anybody who has picked up a new hobby during this thing. You're a hero. Thank you for becoming a better person. Shout out to anybody in the U.S. I don't know if you guys have Father's Day the same week in South Africa, but call your dad. And then shout out to anybody who knows what today's date is. I know we've all been on lockdown. So if you know what today's date is, you're a hero. All right, that's all my announcements.
Friday.
Now you can roast me. All right, so let's go around the circle. Sean Ray Van Vick, you are in Johannesburg, South Africa. Is that correct? Okay, cool.
Yes.
And during this lockdown, I don't know if this is lockdown related or if this is a thing that always happens. You have a lot of jobs right now. Tell us about it.
I don't have a lot of jobs right now, but I used to because lockdown, trying to go out in Ronas. I had a lot of jobs. I was a Boilermaker. Do you guys know what a Boilermaker is?
No, what is that?
Tell them.
So a Boilermaker is basically like an artisan. Like I fabricated, I welded, I built molds with my bare hands. I built molds. But basically, it was just the structure that keeps the molds up. Like if you look up, if ever you're in a mall and you look up and you see some iron and some shits there, that's basically what I did for a long time. And like it was always crazy working with working men, because working men is like the world moves forward, and then the labor people who do the real jobs, they don't move forward. They still there, like with that same mentality, don't you? They still calling bitches. You know what I'm saying, man? Those are those type of men, right? And I want to tell you this story about a guy I used to work with, right? Who lost his toe, right?
He lost his what?
He lost his toe because, he lost his. Like in construction, we work with like safety boots, and it's got that metal.
So you don't lose your toe.
Yeah, those metal caps. Right? And the guy was working one day, and like a pole, like a fucking huge ass, heavy ass pole, fell on his shoe, and the cap, the metal cap, bent and cut like his big toe off.
Oh shit!
Right, cut his big toe off.
He would have been better off without the steel toe.
Yes, and this motherfucker still had the nerve to come to work in the morning with fish flops. Like, yo, bro, nobody's trying to cover your shit up. Right?
He went 9-toe flip flopping.
He went 9-toe flip flop, bro. Dude, how? Because the working people always suffer, and like this is how I found out that the people I worked for, and it was the reason why I quit. The people I work for don't talk about the people that work there, right? They don't care about the people that work there. And like the bosses used to do this thing, right? They used to come out of the offices and walk down into almost like to them it was like walking into the villages and just meeting the workers and just asking the workers normal things like, hey, how you doing? Do you need anything here? Is there anything we can get for you? Yo, be safe. Cool. and they would bounce, right? So one day I'm working next to the guy that lost his toe. The guy who lost his toe has been working for this company for 15 years. Like he's been working there forever. And one day the boss comes to him and he's like, yo, hey, Johan, how you doing? Do you have everything you need here? Are you cool? He's like, yes, no, I have everything I need here. I'm cool. The boss walks away. He turns around. The boss is like, yo, Johan, be careful. There was a man who used to work here who lost his toe. Just be careful. And Johan was like, yo, I'm the guy who lost the toe. This guy, he lost the toe. And like that was when I saw that shit, I was like, yo, bro, I gotta get the fuck out. I gotta tell jokes. I need to get the fuck out of here. And that's when I left. I left fucking Boilermaking and I became a stand-up comedian.
Well,
but why did the boss say there was a guy who used to work here? Like, no idea what's going on.
that's because that's how irrelevant that guy is. He's just like a story to tell your kids. This guy lost his toe once. No, my name is Jeff. I'm still here. I'm still here. You didn't fire me. I still get wages.
It was your hand.
Marcelo.
That's fine. It was his big toe. Why his big toe? Come on, man. There were some other toes there. This guy lost. I know a guy who lost like 4 toes, but the big toe. That's like the foundation of your foot is your big toe.
Yes.
You can replace those other 4, but your big toe's gotta be. You even lose your big toe now. Why you need to?
This is what I like. This is what I like about when I go to South Africa is like because the stories of like people losing limbs and like horrible things happening. Like Americans, we have like 1 or 2. And one of those is like a story we heard of a guy. But like in Africa in general, you guys 10 people who lost a foot in like a weird situation.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
We like which story? Like, yo, man, you be like, tell us about the guy who lost a toe. I'm like, okay, which guy?
Which one? Right.
I know about 6.
Right. I kept trying to tell the story about Lorena Bobbitt, who is the one, like, she's the one person in the U.S. who cut a penis off. And it was in 1980, 1994. And it was a big deal because she cut this guy's penis off. And then I tried talking about it in South Africa, and you guys were like, yeah, that happens all the time here. Like, dudes get their dicks cut off all the time.
Yeah,
by
mistake sometimes.
Marcelo, you're in Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I have to say, Dan, that beard looks like you took it from someone else.
Right? Doesn't it look like you can take it off and just hand it over?
Yeah. It looks like you met a man and you said, I'd like your beard, please. And then you took it from him.
That's right. That's what I'm doing, Corona. I'm robbing people. I'm just taking beards, bro. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you very much. I just got my wisdom teeth out and I don't want anybody to see.
I'm just taking beard.
Amish person. It's like, yo.
Oh, by the way, this is a good time to remind you to shut your stuff off. Whoever's thing is beeping, shut that off. Marcelo, when you were a kid, you were almost stolen. You were almost kidnapped by Child Protective Services. Tell us about that.
Yes, man. That's an interesting story. So I was always in the school bus, right? There's 2 types of kids in life. There are the ones that get taken to school by their parents and the school bus kids. And, historically, the school bus kids are much cooler and tougher, right?
Oh, tougher, sure.
And cooler and better. The taken by the parents kids, these kids, they have no spine.
Yeah.
They're soft for sure.
So I'm on the school bus and I felt like they were treating me like I was a taken by the parents kid,
Oh, I see.
They were treating me like I was kind of weak. So I decided at a young age that I wanted to show them that I'm tough. So I decided to use the most powerful tool that any child can use, which is lying. To lie is just so powerful, so useful.
Okay.
So I got on the school bus and I said, I know you guys think I'm soft. Okay. But my mom lets me smoke cigarettes. And my dad gives me beers until I get drunk. And I just sit in my backyard drinking and smoking on a daily basis.
Right. You're a badass.
And I just immediately people on the just high fives.
How old
just
are you?
Like I'm like in 4th grade. I am like what?
You're 9.
I'm 9, 10 years old. Yeah. And I mean, the whole bus, I'm screaming it. I'm like, I'm the guy with the cigs and the drinks, baby. I'm screaming it. So I'm the coolest kid on the bus for like a couple of weeks. And then I get home one day and my mom gives me the phone. And I grab the phone and it goes, "Hello, this is Maria with Child Protective Services. We're calling to speak to Mr. Marcelo on the account that his parents are giving him alcohol and cigarettes on a daily basis." So I just, you know, when you ugly cry,
Right.
I just give the phone back to my mom, start freaking out. She goes, "No, you talk. So I'm like, okay. She's like, "We're gonna come pick you up this week. We're taking you to Child Protective Services. You cannot be at home with your parents because of what they've done to you." The next day, my mom goes, "Bye, Marcelo. I'm going to go get tested at CPS because they think that I'm feeding you alcohol and cigarettes because they think I'm an addict. So I'm going to go get tested." So she goes and gets tested for, I don't know, nicotine or whatever alcohol. She comes home. She goes, "I got tested. I came out negative. I hope you learned your lesson. They know that you were lying, whatever." What? 10 years go by.
Damn, that's a big jump.
10 years go by. I am at a CVS getting my mom a Mother's Day card, and I'm like, "Oh, hey mom, how are you? Do you remember that?" I was just thinking, do you remember that time when I lied on the bus and then I almost got taken away by Child Protective Services? And she goes, "Oh yeah, I didn't tell you. That was my friend Maria. We got you, bro."
Jeez. Why 10 years later? Why 10 years later though? That she could have told you in a week's time.
Didn't tell me anything. Apparently, the bus driver heard me talking that trash, called my mom.
Oh, yeah,
and my mom was like, "Don't worry, I got this."
Yeah, I knew the bus driver snitched, bro. I knew it was the bus driver. Because when you were saying those things in the bus, he was there like just lying ass motherfucker. This guy's lying. You were there talking about, "I smoke cigarettes, I drink alcohol, I once saw a dude without a big toe." They were like, "This guy is lying." There's some lies going on.
I used to work in construction and I lost my toe.
I used to work in construction. My boss was like, "Yo, Jimmy, you still work here?" I was like, "What?" Let's do this. I got my wisdom tooth taken out. I'm like, "Oh, this is lying in this bus."
And next week, I'm gonna go steal a beard from an Amish person. I'm on fire. Yeah.
Even a mug from like a
lying dude on this bus.
Here's a new invention. Look at this. It's called a mug, Amish person. A mug. It's got a handle. Stop drinking out of a fucking being carved out of a tree. I don't know what Amish people drink out of. What do Amish people drink?
Thank you guys for holding it down without me here. I got a lot of technical problems today.
Wait, there we got you.
What was the end of the story, Marcelo? Did it were they real, or was this whole thing a ruse from your parents?
Yeah, I find out 10 years later, just a few years ago, that my mom had contracted her friend Maria to call and pretend to be Child Protective Services.
Maria.
Ridiculous, dude.
Coronavirus. I saw Maria sounds like she'd say that. Coronavirus.
She contracted her friend. God damn, dude. Maria.
So,
Dan, what you got for us, man?
Prince, I keep losing my connection here. Prince, now where are you at in with the whole coronavirus thing? Are you guys are close to the end of it over there in South Africa? Do you think it's a conspiracy, or do you believe everything that's real about what's going on?
Yeah, man. Listen, we are currently in winter Like I feel like coronavirus, like it's kind of like the way our president's been setting it up. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Because he kept telling us coronavirus is bad now, but remember, prepare yourself because winter is coming. Yeah, now winter's here now. Winter is coming. We kept telling each other, hey, get your flu vaccine. Winter is coming. And it's here now, right? It's here. The white workers are out, right? It's tough. Like our cases have been spiked out of control. It's crazy. But on the conspiracy thing, you know, I feel like a lot of people are conspiracizing about where does coronavirus come from? Was it by human beings eating a pangolin? Was it made in a lab? Where is it from? You know why I think if I could add like a conspiracy to it, I think coronavirus starts the way everything starts, with a good old love story. That's how everything starts. A love story. I bet you there was a guy who was like a nerdy dude, you know, maybe a nerdy dude, call him like Dexter or something. And he was dating like a slay queen, you know, one of those big booty girls. And she always wanted to go out. Every time I was like, yo, can you come and watch Netflix with me? No, I'm going to the club. Oh, she goes out to the club. Hey, can we play some Scrabble? No, I'm going out with my girls. We're going to have a party, yeah. And this guy was like, how can I make sure this woman stays at home? And you know, Dexter is one of those laboratory kind of dudes in there hooking up a coronavirus. Now, this is the only virus that needs you to stay at home. Not even AIDS needed you to stay at home. AIDS is like, yeah, man, you can go out, just look after yourself. Even Ebola, hey man, you can go out, just don't breathe weird air. Any disease where like, oh, you can go out, just don't eat polony. You know what I'm saying? That coronavirus only diseases want you to stay at home. There's a good old love. All love stories are like that. King Kong died. It was a love story. Samson got his hair cut off. It was a love story. Anything you can Troy, the whole Trojan War was a love story. I wouldn't be surprised if coronavirus just a good old love story. Just a man trying to keep his woman at home. Like, I need your place at home.
That's a ridiculous love story, bro. Like King Kong, that was, come on, man. You gorilla trying to get a white woman. We still out here trying to get a white woman, bro. What the hell? The gorilla.
Because gorilla trying to jump the queue. The gorilla's trying to jump the queue, man. Coronavirus is like that, bro. Like I recently watched that movie Chucky. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this. But I recently watched that movie Chucky, and coronavirus, like it strikes me as one of like those Chucky kind of diseases. You know, the kind of disease you keep warning people about, but they never listen. You keep telling them winter is coming. They're like, man, I watch Harry Potter. Yeah. So like there's the same thing with coronavirus, right? You see that movie Chucky, like throughout the whole movie, like the boy
Which
trying to
one?
warn his mother about Chucky. All of them, they're the same. Watch
It's
any
the
Chucky movie.
yeah, it's the plot to any scary movie. You know, you tell the people, don't
Not
go
to
in
any
there,
scary-
don't touch that, don't do it.
No one listens.
And what do they do? They ignore you the whole time. Like,
We have
mommy,
budget
mommy,
for fake
Chucky
blood.
taught me how to swear. Huh?
We
Everybody,
have budget for fake blood. We can't just let this fake blood sit here. We've got budget for it, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean don't use the fake blood? What do you mean? We gonna use the fake blood. Let her go in the house.
everybody is sitting at home watching the movie. You know, they see the people in the beach, like, no, don't go to the beach. No, you're gonna die. No, don't
And
go
one
to the
guy
restaurant.
trying to warn you.
He's there. He's there. He's in the restaurant. You just can't see him.
You know what's the funny thing about death, man? Death is only funny. Like it's only funny when it's about to happen to you, and like people have warned you the whole time, and then you're just there. Like, now you got that face on you. That face. You know that face. Feel sorry for me. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
And it's too
man.
late.
I didn't know.
It's too
No,
late.
what do you mean? No, we told you don't go outside. Stop fucking touching doorknobs and touching your face. We told you this. Now you're just in the bed. You can't breathe.
That's the
Now we
scary.
might do something for you. No, bro.
That's the scary part of coronavirus, is that it can kill you, and all you have to do is this. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
you're
That's
right.
it.
In slow motion.
Well,
it's over.
Bruh, you can warn them over and over. Don't listen.
Do
Mommy,
baseball
Chucky taught me how to swear.
tested positive. Baseball players probably tested positive. A lot of baseball players, didn't they? Because they love to do that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
This would be a wrong time to shoot the wolf on Wall Street.
you hope coronavirus doesn't reach any R&B singers, any of the
Yeah, dude. That is out.
This is reaching.
That's why they don't. That's why they don't want us to watch sports because of ay. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. What's wrong with Dan? Dan has so many issues. Man.
Dan.
Come on,
Dan.
Dan.
His show doesn't want to tell you.
Snap out of it, Dan. Or
Dan is
let's
he's actually
snap out of it.
Dan. Dan is actually a method actor. He is acting like a real Amish person with no Wi-Fi.
Come on, AT&T
That's why the
Come on,
Amish.
Dan.
That's why the Amish wear the beards. Is they block away the internet. They don't let the internet reach them. Static from the beard.
Come on, Dan.
Dan,
How's the host gonna be missing from a show? That's weird. That's like a captain of a ship just bouncing on the first day. Take care of yourself, ladies.
Let me be the host. So, Marcus, how is Miami?
That's
And
what happened, bro.
there's my questions.
that's such a host phrase. So, every host.
Marcus,
So,
tell us. Yeah, dog.
oh, man.
Where's Miami's? Obviously, it's in New York. It's in America, right? Or is it an island on the outside of America?
I would say it's a mix because the Miami is in the very, very bottom of Florida, which is so like if this is America, Miami is down here, all the way down here. So we're only like 80 miles away from Cuba, like the furthest point of Florida.
Oh snap!
So although we are America, Miami is full of Cuban people. Like it's
fair.
it's no longer Miami. It's Miami now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I feel you. But you guys are islands, right?
No, we're on like the mainland. Then if you go like if you go about an hour, then it's a string of islands, and then that's the end of Florida. So we're only an hour away from like the end of the mainland.
Okay. Right, fair.
So it's tropical. We're tropical. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that vibe.
Marcelo, are you finding that people in Miami are taking it seriously? Are you finding that people that don't speak English are as scared of the coronavirus as the same level?
I think the language barrier is playing a very big part in this. I think coronavirus is a much scarier idea than, let's say in Spanish, coronavirus. You know what I mean? A coronavirus sounds like a deadly virus that will hurt you if you contract it. Coronavirus sounds like a club that I want to go to tonight.
What about in South Africa? Are there different dialects? Does it make coronavirus sound better or worse?
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, like in South Africa, we have a language called Afrikaans. That already sounds tough, Afrikaans. And there they call it the coronavirus. That also sounds like it can break your chin. Coronavirus. Chin broken, man. It doesn't sound like coronavirus.
About someone from the south, the southern accent. Can you do a Southern accent, Dan? I don't know. how Southern-
Normally, but right now I don't have control of my mouth because everything's swollen. So I think I probably could handle a Southern
We'll
accent.
say virus.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Okay, here's what they're calling coronavirus inside. They go Kung Flu. It's a goddamn Kung Flu over here in America. Goddamn Kung Flu over here.
Kung Flu.
It's a goddamn
Kung
Wuhan.
Flu.
It's a goddamn Wuhan over here in America. You know that if I wear a mask, it's going to make it so I can't breathe regular. So how I'm going to wear a mask to commit myself from coronavirus?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not good. What's the mask thing? So wait, are they doing outdoor masks in South Africa? We're starting to open up now in the U.S. for outdoor dining, but we're the big thing is like, do you wear a mask on the beach? What are you supposed to do? Are you guys pro mask outside in South Africa?
Yeah, dude. But, well, I don't know about pro mask, but you have to wear a mask. It's compulsory. They don't give us options.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
are
don't
you
have a
pro
choice.
mask? Oh, yeah.
But you guys are not.
in America,
Yeah,
bro.
I tell you.
But you guys aren't like arguing about it, right?
You can't argue here, bro. You put your put your mask on to get some tear gas.
So what's it? I want to know what's it like, because I go on Facebook, right, or on or let's say Twitter, and I receive Miami Twitter, Miami Facebook, where
Right, 'cause
you
all the
know
people
yeah,
you
yeah.
follow.
exactly. So I see people that are like, I don't want to wear the mask. The mask doesn't let me breathe. And then there's other people that are like, please, ladies and gentlemen, wear the mask.
Right.
So what's South Africa Facebook like? Like when you scroll down through your feed, what are you seeing? What are the posts like?
No, bro. There's no.
man.
There's no
The
talk
rules are
about.
rules. Like,
Hold on, you guys got to do one at a time. We can't hear you both at a time. One at a time.
They're laughing already.
You don't have a choice. You have to wear the mask. It's so crazy that in America you guys can just debate anything. This is out here debating.
Yeah.
This crazy things like debating. But people are out here, dude. Our policemen get offended when you tell them, "I know my rights." Like, what? You go into jail. You are going to jail. Our police get offended at the thought that you know your rights. You know your rights.
Yeah.
You know, motherfucker.
Are you saying I can't do my job? No, I never said that.
Or
Basically, what we
go ahead.
go on. No, basically what we say is that, like, we don't have choices like that, man. You wear the mask. That's it. In fact, you can't go into any shops without a mask. You can't go into any spaces without them. If you don't have a mask, they don't even allow you in the first place.
And,
Gotta wear your
and
mask.
are you getting some people that go on? Because I've seen some of these videos. I think Americans are they're very spoiled with this freedom thing. You know, they're very spoiled. And like, for example, there was this lady. They think they can do things that they can't do. You know, that's what the average American thinks they can do. This lady goes to a supermarket. She's like, I'm not gonna wear the mask in there. And the guy's like, well, then you're not coming in.
Right.
And she's like, I'm going to speak to the owner of the supermarket. And the guy's like, try. Like, there's no way you're gonna do that. There's no chance.
Yeah, dude. Come on, man. Hey, just wear the mask, man. We don't even. You know what? The question is in South Africa though. How cool can you make your mask? You know what I'm saying? You can wear the mask. Let's make it cool. You can have a branded mask, Nike, Adidas. You can have a mask with a little zip in that you can open up, speak quickly, and zip it back closed. You can have a see-through mask in case you want them to see your lips moving. That you have some power over. But you gotta wear the mask though.
So wait, so have you seen any bootleg like Yeezy masks or anything like control?
Yeah.
You know they make the mask, but like somebody got it.
We make all the masks, bro. We H&M masks over here. We love H&M again. We make all, dude. I saw like someone had a Nike and a Adidas on one mask. Like they had Nike and that is
Extra
just
flossing.
If you go to the street corners right now, you can find Liverpool masks. It says we are the champions on it. As we speak, bro. These people are fast out here.
I like that. You guys are embracing the masks. It almost feels like that mentality might bode well for you in the long term.
If the mask
Right.
works.
If the mask works. Because
Even
now
works, maybe.
when you buy bootleg masks, some of them like it's not real cotton.
Right.
This is
Right. That's what you got to worry about more than anything else. If the Yeezy logo is fake, then the amount that it's keeping particles out is also as fake.
I disagree with that. I think if you're just covering your face with something, you're in better shape. Like
Sure.
I think like have you seen those masks that they wear in the hospital? They look like crap. They
Right.
look
Yeah.
like anything, you know? It
Yeah.
doesn't look like advanced technologically in any way at all.
Yeah.
Masks haven't changed in 300 years. We've been wearing the same masks.
Just cover this. Just cover it, and you're good. I like when I see all the people. Like I was at my dentist to get my teeth out, and they kept coming by and they were spraying stuff down. They're doing it, but the guy who was doing it had his mask where it was just covering his mouth, no nose. So he's just spraying stuff, and his nose is just hanging out. And it's like, yeah, you're doing all this stuff to disinfect, but you're not even wearing the mask like a mask. What's happening?
And then you say something like, "Sir, please put the mask on," and he goes, "Yeah, but I don't like." It's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't, they tell you some little tiny problem. Yeah, it's like my nose itches when I
It hurts my ears though. Like it pulls on my ears with the elastic.
yeah, like what?
But to be fair, in your dentist instance, like he's protecting you by not spraying like corona on you, but he can't spray corona on you from his nose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
he's
doesn't
the one at
matter.
risk.
I'm going under in a minute, and they're gonna jack my mouth open. There's like 7 people walking in and out of the room. If there's corona in here, I'm getting it.
And they're putting the hands in your mouth. I went to the dentist
Oh,
during.
this was the worst part. I woke up. This is what's fun. So like they say like if you go from the dentist, they don't know how to do the anesthesia right. Like, that's like the big joke with the dentist. Like
They don't know.
they like missed my vein a couple times. They're trying to do the IV, and there's always these stories of like you come back from the dentist and you're telling all these stories to your family because you were like knocked out, so you like confessed to like having an extra family and stuff like that. So I woke up twice in the middle of. They had to take out 4 teeth, and I woke up once when they were taking out the bottom left one, and once when they were taking out the bottom right one. Like that's not the right amount of anesthesia at all. And then like when you're done, they rush you out of the dentist. So there's like no discussion. Like I don't know that I ever met the person who took the teeth out. Like I just met a lady who put my IV in, and then I woke up and there was another lady in there. So I have no idea who pulled my teeth out. And it's like I want to have that moment where I'm like, hey, can we talk about the fact that I was awake for the last 2? Like, can I get like a discount? Like you didn't. I was awake.
I saw you.
It's like
I want to have a memory.
okay, the bullshit
I'm not supposed to see this.
it's like comedy. Like they let you out and they ask the anesthesiologist, "Hey, how did it go?" And she's like, "I bombed. I bombed there.
I woke up in the middle.
Twice. Oh yeah. Today I just wasn't in it. You know, I just wasn't
in the moment. Right. So Sean Ray, you have children. What's it like having children during a mass pandemic? Like, is there a perspective that you get as a father that you don't have as just a single dude running around like the rest? Well, I don't know if Princess kids, but the rest of us.
It's the worst, bro. It's the worst. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's really like it's a thing, eh? Because like kids can embarrass you, bro. Like even in the pandemic, like it's the craziest thing ever. Like I remember taking my daughter to the shop, right? And as a full-time stand-up comedian, money was tight. Like money was tight in the beginning. Like shows dried up. We were a month in, no shows, and we were out there buying beers before Corona. Like, yeah, we getting gigs. Like I thought my whole year was gonna be gigs all the way. I had gigs booked. Life was gonna be nice, and then Corona happened. So a month into the lockdown, I'm with my daughter, and before we go into the supermarket, I look at her and I you know that pep talk you give your child when you don't have money. I don't know, you guys don't have children, but like There's a
We were all like, no.
before you go in and you don't have money. There's a pep talk. So I looked her in her eyes. I was like, Cassie, Daddy doesn't have any money for anything inside the shop. Don't ask me for anything, right? And she looked at me. She looked me back in my eyes. She was like, yo, Daddy, I understand. It's a pandemic. I understand what is happening. I was like, oh, good. That's great. That's why you're my favorite child, right? And I grabbed her by the hand and we walked in. We got like bread and milk and we got to the aisle. And every leading supermarket does this bullshit here, right? Where they put all the candy, all the sweets, and all the chocolates, they put them at the end of like when you go pay. They put them at the counter where you pay, right? So we're standing there and she's looking at the chocolates, right? She's looking at the chocolates, she's looking at the sweets, and she does this shit loud while everyone is just looking at me and just she does this shit loud. She looks at she's like, Daddy, I want. Oh, I forgot. You don't have any money. The fucking, and I'm just standing there, right? So I'm panicking, right? And with the last couple of bucks, I'm like, ugh. All right, Cassie, take the big chocolate. Take the big chocolate. My last money, bro. So having kids is the worst, bro. As I say, it's the fucking worst. But it's also nice, but also bad at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know how to relate to that. Yesterday, I bought myself a Nutella pizza and had it delivered for myself. It's crazy.
That's extreme, man.
I have nobody depending on me. It's great.
Nutella's chocolate, right?
Yes.
Nutella's it's like a hazelnut cocoa. Do you not have Nutella? Well, how do you not know?
I do, but why would you put it on a pizza? Now it's not even a pizza anymore. Doesn't it turn into a cake?
Well, that's where we're at. Is we're so comfortable in the U.S. of just calling everything pizza. It started with the Mexican pizza, then we went sushi pizza. Now it's Nutella pizza. If anybody's doing it in any cuisine, like a crepe has Nutella and banana, so now it's Nutella banana pizza, right?
Well, yeah, they put banana and strawberries on my Nutella pizza. So I guess I ordered a crepe. I guess.
Basically.
At some point, it needs to turn into a cake. Is all I'm saying. At some point, I think it's a cake now, guys.
Yeah.
Move this department to the
No, that's my favorite thing about. So we keep doing this thing in the U.S. where like every 4 years, some pizza place pretends to like invent a calzone. And so they'll just be like, this brand new thing. It's called the P-Zone. We take a pizza and we fold it inside of itself and we put it in the oven. Like, motherfucker, that's a calzone that's been a calzone the whole time. There's nothing new about it. And they'll like call it something different, like a folded pizza. It's a calzone. It's always been a calzone. Right? Like didn't Taco Bell try to like reinvent churros? What did they call them? They call them something else?
Oh my God, yeah, that's true. Taco Bell, the cinnamon twist.
The cinnamon twist. No, we have that. It's called churros.
It's not a real place. I thought that place only existed in like Grand Theft Auto. Is that a real place?
What
Taco
place?
Bell?
Yeah, Taco Bell. Is that like a real place?
I've heard of Taco Bell.
Yeah, bro. I saw that shit in Grand Theft Auto, bro. That's why I showed Taco Bell.
Yeah, why don't you have Taco Bell in South Africa? Because you just don't have any. You don't have Mexicans in South Africa. That's why you don't have Taco Bell.
Yeah, where we don't have Mexico.
I don't think America did that because they had Mexicans. Taco Bell was founded by some starving Americans.
It represents Mexican food any better than like Olive Garden represents Italian food, but that's what we do in America. We just take the thing and then we made like so they did it in South Africa. They have a thing called bunny chow, right? Bunny chow.
Yeah.
So in certain areas, so because there's a huge Indian population, because of all the things, colonization and all that stuff. So they have the same equivalent bad, like, not good version of like Mexican food they do with Indian food, which is bunny chow, which is just a piece of bread and they put all this crazy curry stuff in it.
Yeah. Pretty delicious. And it depends when you go in South Africa as well.
Say again?
Actual bunny meat. I see
bunny meat. No, Italians eat rabbit. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.
So what's the most popular fast food for you guys? Like, what's the quickest? What do you get?
McDonald's. McDonald's is probably going to be the fastest, regardless of where you go. To be honest, we have McDonald's. We have that. But
is it healthier there, you think, than in America?
No.
Oh,
Same crap.
No. Same crap. And we
man,
only
wherever you go, man.
honest when we drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
That's our problem. That's why we lead the country. That's why we lead the world in obesity, is because we eat it when we're sober.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. At McDonald's, it's only because it's so fast. It's so fast. You go there, you get it, you're gone, and yeah, you only need it like 2 a.m. in the morning.
The other thing we eat the most is barbecue, like braai, like barbecue. Like we love the
Yeah.
barbecue.
You don't have. That's what I thought was weird. You don't have like a fast food braai spot. You don't have like
We
braai
do.
burger. What's it
We
called?
do.
It's called a chisanyama.
Chisanyama, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just means
It's like you
burn
buy
the
meat and then you barbecue it right there at the shop.
right. Yeah, and
Like
then
literally right there.
and there's always that when you go somewhere. There's always chisanyama dish.
Yeah.
And
So you
I
have
mean,
to
the
always-
way like
it's always like a T-bone. What is it? It's a T-bone, a chicken, and what's the third one? Like the sausage.
a wors, yeah, sausage wors.
Bowwurst.
pure
Yeah,
worst.
pure wors. It's
Pure.
Afrikaans. There's an
Pure.
Afrikaans pure wors.
I can't do it.
Geroe
I'm gonna
nou
have the
hier.
wisdom teeth.
Afrikaans roll their R's a lot. That's
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Afrikaans, boer is like it's a name for a farmer, but it also just means white man. So it's like the white man's sausage. I don't know. It sounds weird in English, but
Pure wors.
That's funny. That's what you guys eat the most over there.
The way the white man intended it. Marcelo, you you like completely went missing in middle school? Is that a?
Oh man, yeah. When I was so I had just escaped Child Protective Services, and I decided to upgrade to the police. So I went out one night. I convinced my mom that I should walk around this. We went on vacation to this place where it's near the beach, and I was like, we all walk around on the street. It's normal. So we went out and we hung out. My mom said, you have to be home at 12. I don't care if you hang out in the area, like in the pool, until later, but just come and say that you're here at 12. So I came back at 12, and in the pool there was 2 girls, and I didn't think it would be cool to say, 1 second, let me tell my mom that I am here, so I just was like, just jumped in the pool, texted my mom, hey, I'm here, I'm just in the pool. And then I started talking to these girls. And then after like an hour of like lying to these girls about my age, they were older than me. I was like, I'm older too. This is my friend. I had a very tall friend, and he just was like my truth. He was the one that made it look like I wasn't lying. He already had a beard. We're only like 14.
I like that any extra feature as a child makes you older. You could be taller. You could have big feet. You could have like that scooter. Like any extra one more thing, and you're older.
This is my friend Santiago. He has reading glasses because he's actually almost 14 now. So they believe us, kind of. Me and him were kind of making way with the girls, and I go, 1 second, let me check my phone because I just need to check it, So I go to check my phone, and I have 72 missed calls from my mom. And then I like a movie. I put the phone down, and I look to my left, and I see my mom and my stepdad running like this. Wah! And a police officer car pulls up. And I'm like, oh my God. My tall friend is in the pool like this. Only his eyes are peeking out from the pool. And they come up to me, my stepdad, in front of the girls that are older than me that we've been talking to for about 45 minutes to an hour. My stepdad picks me up by the neck and goes, where were you? And I was like, I texted you. He grabs my phone, smashes it into pieces in front of the girls. I start crying in front of these girls. These girls get out of the pool. They put their towel and they're like, wow. And they get out of there. They leave me to get just punished. And my tall friend is like, just gets out. They took my name, my height, 5'1", my weight, 120 pounds, like just like all of it. And then we get into my room, to the room with my family. We're all in bed. Everything has finally settled down. And then I hear my mom go, "He did send us a text. We just didn't see it." Wow, bro.
Your childhood stories have a lot of level of trauma to them. They really, but I like how you can get a good idea of
talking about you.
what kind of person you're going to become. Even at 14, you're lying to girls. You're like living this lavish life. You're like staying out past midnight curfew. You're texting people. That's not my childhood at all.
Yeah, I had a BlackBerry. Bro. He smashed my BlackBerry.
It's tragic.
So, all I know is there's a lot of kids out there who are grown-ups now still talking about you, bro. Like, the dude from the bus? Yeah, I got him at the pool the other day. And that dude causes chaos wherever he goes.
Yeah, I can't imagine like the conversations that they had after that day, like just as a parent, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a disaster. I picked him up by his neck and I smashed his phone on the ground.
Yeah, I like that you weren't really doing anything wrong, but your parents thought you were like the worst child. Like meanwhile, there was like kids down the hall like doing meth.
Yeah,
trying to like hang out in the bathtub with girls.
Yeah, I was pretty good. And you know what? That's so true. I wasn't that bad, but my mom, like I have a Cuban immigrant mom, so I just was like, if I got a C, it was an American F. You know what I mean? Like
right.
A Cuban C is an American F. You know?
Yeah, you got to strive harder.
I remember
in this country.
I'll never forget this. My mom, she was like, if you want to go to a party this weekend, you get me a note from every teacher you have saying how you behave this week in one word. Tell them to give me one word for how you behave this week. And every teacher said, good, great, fine, okay. And then my last teacher, on the last day of the week, I asked her, please write, something for my mom. I want to go to this party and she needs one word from you. This woman, Miss Hutton, Miss Rosa Hutton, I'll never forget it. She wrote mediocre.
Oh, shit.
And I was young, so I was like, mediocre, baby. I don't know what this means. So I come home like, I'm going to the party, Ma. I'm going to the party. I'm mediocre as hell, baby. And she reads that on the agenda, mediocre. Mediocre? You're not going to a party for the rest of your life, mediocre. What? Dude.
She saw cocaine, man. She looked at us like, cocaine? That's an American cocaine.
Your mom gave you, because it's like, if you ever ask your child to forge an amount of paperwork, that's that moment. They go, just get from your class. Just have your teacher sign a note. She doesn't know what their signatures are. Yeah.
Your story is so funny, man. It reminds me like how embarrassing parents can be. Because I remember like my dad coming after after some guy whooped my ass, right? Like he punched me in the stomach. Like he just punched me in my stomach, and like that sound that when someone punches you in the stomach, like that sound came out, right? And I went home and I told my dad, and my dad was like, "Yo, let's go get this guy." And my dad made the whole situation worse. Because my dad came and was like, oh, you punched my son in his stomach? That's not his stomach, that's my stomach. So you punched me in the stomach. I was like, no, Dad, no. All of the guys were laughing. I was like, you made the whole situation worse. Let's go home right now. Like, you just embarrassed
I thought your dad was going to roll up and fight this dude, and this dude was going to beat up your dad too. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen in the story.
Oh, nah. We were like little kids, bro.
Prince, so you don't. I don't know if you have kids or not, but we're all telling these children's story. You sort of feel like kids are like parrots.
No, the thing is, you know what I've been doing? I've been chilling at home here in the Eastern Cape. So I've got like a little niece. And it's kind of cool to watch kids grow up. Like she's at that phase now where like she says words or says things that she hears people say. So it's not like she necessarily understands what it means all the time, but she knows how to say it like at appropriate times. You know what I'm saying? They can teach you with like coffee. Like, coffee. She understands that, Like, oh, open the door. Open the door. she can open the door. Repeat whatever I'm saying. So like it's like that phase. So I get Chandre's story of like, going with your kids to get a chocolate. Get a chocolate. That's basically how it is. So it's cool. It's cool to see like the development. You know what I'm saying? Like slowly how the intellect grows over time. Like I feel like a child, like in those first few months of existence, I feel like they're similar to like a normal animal. They just water when they're thirsty, food when they're hungry, cry when they're sad. And now like it develops. Now you're in that parrot phase. And then yeah, interesting to see what comes next. I don't know. Chandra is a specialist.
Hey, what's up? My name is Steve. This is my first time in the Handsome Man Club. It's good to see everyone here. It looks like a very handsome group. Sorry, I'm just hand sanitizing. You know how it is. I want to say, I guess the first time, sorry, once I get done here, the first time I realized that I was handsome, I guess I was probably 20 years old or so. And then people would come up to me and they go, "Oh, you're handsome." And once that happened enough, it was probably the ages from 20 to 22. It was happening at least once a week. I'm walking on the street, people would whisper. They go, "Hey, that guy's handsome over there. That guy's handsome." And so I'm just really honored to be here as part of the Handsome Man Club. I mean, look, this is a handsome group. Beautiful people. When was you guys? The guy in the yellow, when was the first time? I'd be curious to know when you first knew you were handsome.
I will be honest. I'm 22 now, so it was actually when I saw your face just now. I said, "Look at that! It could be worse."
Yeah. Okay. Great. Guy in the red guy. When did you first know that you were handsome?
Well, I don't know. I've never thought about it. Because no one has ever said it.
What happened? You're not supposed to be in the group?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that I was handsome. I never knew. I just thought girls just wanted me to make babies. That's all I thought.
I think that's why you're here. That's a clear sign. When girls want to make babies with you, that definitely means you're handsome. So yeah, okay. I see why you're here. Guy in the gray with the glasses. I mean, how did you become part of this? When did you first know you were handsome?
Dude, like I'm an on and off kind of a person, I've got handsome days and I have non-handsome days. Right now, I'm having a handsome 5 minutes, and that's what you saw when you came on. You caught me at a good time. But if you stay for like another 5 minutes, this could change. They're gonna kick me out the group probably in the next 10, 15 minutes. But I'm hanging in there.
But it sounds like you belong here. It's like, I mean, as long as you're handsome sometimes, we're not gonna be handsome all the time. You know what I mean? Like, but as long as some people we know, they ain't never handsome. We're handsome at least sometimes. And I'd be curious, the guy with the hat and the microphone. When did you first know that you were handsome?
Well, thank you for joining and taking over this feed here, new guy. What's your name, new guy?
My name is Steve. I'm so excited to be part of this Handsome Man group.
This is a good moment in your life. Hold on. So how did you find this feed, and when did you decide that you were in the Handsome group, and this is a sign up? How did you find this?
Well, I'm still hand sanitizing, as you can see. I will say, I've been on a lot of during this quarantine time. I've been on a lot of chat rooms, and then I found this one thing, and it was like, "Did you always know you were handsome?" And I started thinking, I was like, "Oh my God!" When I was 20, yes, people started telling me I was handsome, and then I found this group, and so I'm just really honored that I was able to get in here.
Well, since you're a new member, let's you're not wearing a shirt. Why don't you back up off of the camera and give us the real? Let's really understand what we're talking about here.
I don't want to show it all. I mean, I am new. But I can show just a little bit, just a little bit to let you guys know. So,
okay, it's important.
Are you like in charge of this group?
Yeah, I'm moderating. It's important for us to understand, and for you to understand that this is an anonymous group. You can't. This is not a We don't want you inviting other people into the handsome group.
Oh, absolutely not. Especially people who aren't handsome. Absolutely not. Yeah. So
Well, now that we
I
have
don't
you,
know.
let me see if anybody has any questions for you since you're a new member here. anybody-
What is the number one?
I've got a question.
Okay.
I've got a question.
Okay, yes.
When did
Is it a handsome question?
When did your hairline decide that it's gonna start retreating? I don't know. I just wanted to
When
ask.
my hairline start retreating,
Yes.
look at it from the side. It's pretty handsome.
Yeah, your hairline is kind of is reversed now. Pretty much, it looks like your head decided to just rotate 180.
Yeah, Steve, I recommend that you just do this.
You think you turn it around? Do you think that's the way?
I think you just
Hey, what about a quick,
Yeah.
what about a quick reveal? That's
I
pretty
like
handsome.
I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and wash my
There's a
hands. I
moment.
can't touch the keyboard, so I'm gonna go wash my hands, and I want to say that I'm glad to be.
It just looks like someone just took your headphones off. Huh? That's what
What's
you
up?
look like. Huh?
and he's you got to give us upside down. I think that's better.
I don't think I can. I can't touch the keyboard.
Yo, Steve, there's a one article of clothing requirement in this group. Actually, you just have to have one thing on.
Well, I don't have anything on over here.
Well, thank you for joining us. We're gonna get back to some.
Okay, you have to make me leave because I'm hand sanitizing.
All right, we're
And,
gonna get back to some group business. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Well, that was fantastic, guys. Everybody, that's Lance Sweets, Party with Lance. He's been bombing Zoom and live streams for weeks and months during this quarantine. So check him out. He will bomb your grandmother's birthday party if you let him. So that was very fun. I like the Handsome Club. What do you think? Do you guys think we all qualify for the Handsome Club? That's an interesting perspective. I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea. He looks at these four boxes and says these are handsome dudes.
Yeah,
I qualify, but I don't want premium membership. Maybe like I want a 14-day free trial.
Yeah, you want to be like the last guy in. Like you want to just barely make it. Like that's kind of how.
Yeah, dude, I'm not premium subscription on that one though.
I think historically,
I'll be there.
You know what they say? Mo handsome, mo problems.
yeah, I kind of want to get a little bit uglier. I want to add some ugly things because I've noticed that have you ever seen a girl on like Instagram or something and you're like, wow, she's hot, and then you go on her Instagram, she has a boyfriend. Most of the time, you're like, that's not that good looking of a guy.
Right.
He's not incredible, you know. So
Yeah,
I think it's
there's a
important
word,
to it's important to make some mistakes. You know, it's important to do some stuff wrong.
I like that Marcelo's in constant competition with every man on the planet. I like that. He's just like, oh, look at this girl. Look at this girl's boyfriend. Look at her husband. Look at her son. This is terrible. I can do better than her son.
Yes, yes. I'm like, look, no abs. All right, then I'm done.
You don't even know this. You don't even know this girl, but you're already like, look, if she knew me, then maybe she would dump all these dudes. Get rid of her son, her whole life.
I gotta lower my expectations for myself.
All right, do you guys have any questions for Dan in the meantime?
Oh, for Dan Frigolette?
Yeah, questions for me since I'm. Hold on, Prince is talking. No, wait, let me unmute everybody. It's getting hard. Prince, go.
Dan, I know the other two guys are gonna be super funny, so I want to ask just this question. There's been a whole Black Lives Matter issue going on in America at the moment, but also at the same time, your COVID statistics and numbers have been skyrocketing like sky high. I want to ask, do American lives matter?
Yeah, I think we're in a weird place in America. We're in this because our president said that we were at war with the coronavirus. I think we're treating it like we've treated every other war. We're just throwing a lot of people at it. We're just like, whatever. We'll throw a couple million at it, and whoever comes out will be fine. So that's how we're handling it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's my question on that.
All right, Marcelo.
Our solution, I love that. Our solution to the virus is we just need more boots. We just need more boots on the ground. And we're going to beat it.
Just toss the troops at it. It's
We just
fine.
need more men.
Greatest American military of all time. Just throw people at it. We'll beat this thing. Marcelo, questions for Dan.
Dan, so I obviously I live in Miami. My mom is Cuban. My dad's Dominican. My hips don't lie. I speak Spanish. Do you know any Spanish? And if so, when have you had to use it? Has it ever come in handy?
So I grew up Italian in a place where people didn't know what that meant, right? Like I became Italian when Italian had just become white. We were like, cool. People are not saying like Italian like slang at people anymore. Like the movies were happening, things were good for Italians at the time. And like Little Italy was thriving, like we were good. So there was no Italian offered at my school. So when they did like they would go around and pitch the languages in my high school. I don't know, like that's how you decide. So you go into like one random French class, and I was like, I want to take Italian, and they were like, oh well, Spanish is the closest we have. It's like that scene in like PCU where they're like, I'm majoring in Sanskrit, and the guy's like, I don't know, all I have is like another old language. Just take this. So like. So that was the best they could do was Spanish is Italian. So I took Spanish and I was doing great. Everything felt good. And I was pretending like I was Italian in Spanish. And then I went to college, tried to take Italian, and it was close enough that it like messed up both of my things. So I didn't realize, like, I still thought that I knew Spanish when I moved to New York City and I started traveling and stuff. And then I think white people that never learned a second language, I think we have this like random thing where whatever other language we know, we'll just start speaking that when we get to any other country. So I was in like Europe, and I just started speaking Spanish to people, like as if that was going to solve it, because I thought that was somehow universal. So I don't have any Spanish left. I have un poquito, and then whatever I had is gone. This is my favorite thing was when I was working in restaurants. They knew that I knew this much Spanish, and I was like trying to figure it out. And I was working at restaurants where most of the staff spoke Spanish. And I worked at a restaurant that was Mexican with only Mexican people. And they were pissed that I was a white guy that was working there. And so they were like making it really hard for me. And so they would always tell me Spanish words. They were teaching me Spanish, but they were teaching me bad Spanish. So they would tell me Spanish words and then act like those words were positive. They were like, "Are you Americone?" And I was like, "What does that mean?" Like Americone, like a strong man, like Americone. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Americone."
Yeah.
So that's how I relearned Spanish. Was basically like they were like, your name is Pato, right? You're Pato. This is what I love about Mexican Spanish. There's 45 ways to call somebody a fag in Mexican Spanish. There's
all Spanishes. In every Spanish.
This is my other favorite thing about Spanish this is what I learned was that like it's such a homophobic culture that like all I had to do to make friends like was I would like pick a guy that I was working with and I would like pick something phallic. I would like take like the biggest cucumber I could find and I would just go, "Hey, Marcelo, you want this, right?" in front of like the whole staff. And I would just pretend to hand him the biggest cucumber, and they were like, "Oh my God, he's gonna shove it in his ass! This is fantastic! This is the best joke ever!"
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot of it, and I think the worst. The absolute worst I've ever come across was when I was younger in the Dominican Republic. And, just, I guess, disclaimer, I obviously don't care what you do with your sexual orientation. But there is there's a saying in Spanish, so they call them a bird if they are in fact gay. Yeah. And then the biggest disrespect you can do to like show your buddies that you think a guy is gay is that you go up behind him and you go like this. You go, and somebody goes, "What are you doing?" And you go, "I'm picking up your feathers." And bro, you will get in a fight in 2 seconds. Like it's just like weak homophobia. But I find it funny that at your school they're like we don't have Italian, but we have Spanish. Like Spanish is the Pepsi at your school. We don't have Coca-Cola, but have you tried 7-Up? It's like, come on, this is terrible.
Right. Sean Ray, do you have any questions for Dan?
Yeah, bro, Dan. I had a question that we prepared before the show, but I'm not gonna ask that one.
Hold on, Sean Ray. You asked me, is there any foods that I want? Your mic. Is there any foods that I would like to ban at the end of this process? Is there any? No, Brian, ask me a question.
I'm not gonna ask that question.
No, ask me anything. It's fine.
I'm gonna ask you the question that I love to ask you every single time, and I'm gonna get the truth out of you some way or another, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I want to ask you, right? You probably have the greatest podcast ever, right? It's called Porn Stars Are People Too.
Porn
right?
stars are people. No two.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's take away the two. All right. Porn stars are people. And I want to know, has there
This is my
ever
favorite one. Somebody
been
comes up to you like, I'm a huge fan of you. You're like my favorite person. Like, can you sign my thing? And then it's like they don't know your name at all. They're just like,
no?
like,
This is my question. This is my question. Do you ever, like, after the podcast is done and then you're like, yo, so I'm gonna need payment, and then she's like, oh no, I don't know how I'm gonna pay you for this. Does that ever happen?
I like that this is your genre of porn. I feel like I should just start an OnlyFans where I like try to have sex with my guests, and you would be our only fan, because this is always what happens. No, you know very well that anybody that I interview in any circumstance, including on this show right here, I will have sex with them. So as soon as this show is over, we're all having sex. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm glad that you asked. That's a perfect segue. But no, so check out my podcast. It's called Porn Stars Are People. We talk to porn stars. We don't talk about porn. This has been great. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. Thank you to my guests for being here. We have bottom right is Prinz. Prinz, you wanna tell us how we can follow you on the internet?
Dude, where do you get porn stars from to interview? But anyway, that's a story for another day. Prinz, PRINS_VR on Instagram. And yeah, keep it there. PRINS_VR on Instagram. Where do you get porn stars from, Dan?
They're out there. I didn't invent them. They're out there.
Another day.
Sean Ray, how do we find you on the internet? How do we follow you?
You
just
find at Sean Ray V Vake. It's V Vake. So it's ShanRayVWYK. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then also one day I will find out the truth and you will tell all the details, because obviously, I mean, if a bartender is not an alcoholic, I mean, like, he misses out on so much. Like, I hate people like that don't take advantage of, like, like, opportunities right in your face. If you're a bartender and you ain't an alcoholic, there's something wrong with you. You can't seize an opportunity if it looks you in your face.
It doesn't matter how much I write and how much I say on the podcast that like we're trying to destigmatize porn, and that people that are in porn are not oversexed, that they're just regular like people. But like, it doesn't matter what I do. There's always a dude who's gonna walk up to me and be like, so look, do you bang all your porn star guests? No matter what there's no way to get around it. Marcelo, how do we follow you? How do we look at your content on the internet?
You find out where I live, and then you slowly creep up on me. And then you have to get me, because I'm very quick and I'm very aware. So you have to be very sneaky. Yeah, my Instagram, I'm gonna start putting a bunch of stuff on there. It's Marcelo with 2 L's and then HDZ. And then you can look me up on YouTube. I got a couple videos up there. Marcelo Hernandez.
Thank you to all my guests. Thank you for anybody who watched. We're going to keep this broadcast up on Facebook and Twitter for a while here. I think we also made it on Rooftop Crawl on YouTube. We'll try to get a good version of this and repost it. If you watched us, had a laugh, please send us a tip. We're out here in post-COVID trying to figure out how to make money. You can go PayPal, Cash App, Zelle with a phone number on the bottom, or Venmo at CBKS Tour. We would appreciate your tips, and we'll divvy them up appropriately. Thank you to all my guests. Thank you, guys. We're ending the broadcast. Good night.
Cheers.
Remember, it's Corona.